I'm Professor Neerav Mehta from LG Institute of Technology and Engineering. So today we are going to discuss about subject called automobile system design, in which today's topic is about design of plate clutch. First of all, what is clutch? As we know that clutch is an assembly which regulates power and velocity of your engine or a vehicle. So, in this particular session, we're going to discuss about plate clutch, how it regulates and transmit power to our system. Before getting into this, it is a kind of this design of plate clutch. It is a kind of a friction clutch in which our controlling and regulation of power. It is done with the help of friction between two plates or a faces of a plate here which is assembled with a frictional material. Okay, so let's discuss about different theories to design this kind of a plate clutch. In last semester we have come across a topic called creep. And what was that? Creep was nothing but a deformation which just takes place after some time of working of our component, or you can say it is kind of a wear which is takes place at a elevated temperature. Clear? So here, if I am using clutch in our engine driveline assembly, then it should provide, while in engagement, it should provide sufficient amount of power without slippage or without generating any relative motion. Relative motion should be a two kinds of. One is a slippage of clutch, another is when clutch has overload, or you can say spring force more than our engine torque. So ultimately, clutch should have that sufficient amount of torque which can carry our torque which is transmitting from engine line. So our focus will be more on engine torque which is transmitted from our engine, which should be sufficiently transferred to our drive line. Clear? So here what we are going to do is we are going to generate that amount of torque through spring force and ultimately provide that sufficient pressure so our clutch shouldn't have any kind of relative motion between driver line and a driven line. I hope you got this point. So the next thing is how we are going to design this clutch. So that's why it could generate that sufficient amount of pressure which can sustain that torque which is generated through that engine. Clear? So now our thing is there are two theories to design this plate clutch. One is constant pressure theory and one is constant wear theory. Or you can say in another term, uniform pressure theory and uniform wear theory. How this uniform pressure theory works? In uniform pressure theory, we consider that this pressure throughout the surface of our clutch will going to be constant. Clear? So our major or main consideration in the case of this will be more depending on pressure on our plate. Second theory, that is uniform wear theory. Uniform wear theory come into context when our clutch is fairly old, means when the wear takes place in our clutch. Here, so uniform pressure theory is considered when our clutch is fairly new, and you can say that uniform wear theory will going to be applicable when our clutch is fairly old. And here in this case, uniform wear theory covers most of the life of or lifespan of our clutch. So now we are going to design this uniform pressure theory and uniform pressure wear theory to design or generate that sufficient amount of torque. Here in this diagram, we can see that this is a kind of a clutch or a plate, clear, in which we have a single disc or single plate clutch. You can have that multiple plate clutch when we are using that multi plates between this clutch and our flywheel assembly. In this case, we will consider at a single plate and then we will multiply with the number of contact surface to find out the exact amount of torque in multi-plate clutch. Clear? Here you can see a pressure is applied from both of the sides on our plates through a spring-loaded bolts. Clear? This provides sufficient amount of pressure which can sustain torque. Clear? Ultimately, it should sustain that torque which is feeding from our engine and shouldn't have any kind of relative motion. So our design criteria is to generate that amount of torque. Clear? Here you can see inside diameter is denoted by R2, outside diameter is denoted by R1. In the case of uniform pressure theory, we are considering that pressure throughout this R1 to R2 is same. But in uniform wear theory, pressure will going to be different due to different wear set on our this clutch plate. Clear? Why this different pressure sets? Because of our spring force or spring load is coming through the center of this plate. So the edge near our center will going to wear out more compared to edge at our or plate edge at its edge. Clear? So maximum amount of wear will be set at the inside of our radius because it will comes under maximum amount of pressure at that point. Okay, so in the case of uniform pressure there it is straightforward. We are going to consider pressure as a constant entity, but in uniform wear theory we will consider it as a wear as a constant entity in which pressure into its distance from the radius will going to be same throughout the periphery of the sun. Here we have considered an element which has thickness of dr and which is at distance or radius r from the center. So here what we are going to perform, we are going to find sufficient amount of torque for that particular element which is smaller, which is dr. Okay, and then we will integrate throughout the surface to find effective torque and ultimately effective radius. So here you can see that first theory is our design of a plate clutch. Okay, so here we can see that design of plate clutch from uniform pressure theory. Nomenclature for this particular theory goes like this: torque, which is denoted by T, P, which is maximum pressure intensity, R1 and R2 are outside and inside diameter of our plate. R is mean or effective radius of R, which is considered for that dr thickness. Mu is coefficient of friction. So by considering that particular element dr, area for that dr will 2 pi r dr, and the pressure for that will be, sorry, force for that particular element will be p into 2 pi r dr. So ultimately I have to integrate throughout the surface. Now to find out frictional force for that particular pressure, it will be mu into 2 pi r dr into p, and that frictional force will help us to find out torque. Now what will going to be torque? It will be frictional force into radius of that particular element. So ultimately torque will be F into dr, which is 2 pi mu p r square dr. Now let's put this theory into context with uniform pressure theory, where pressure is uniform. Clear? So for that particular theory, our area or our pressure will goes like this: P is equals to force upon area, which is pi into RO square or R1 square minus R2 square. Clear? From this torque equation, we can have integration from R1 to R2 of that particular torque equation, and ultimately we can find equation for uniform pressure theory, which is W upon which in terms of pressure, which is 2 pi mu p r1 square r1 cube minus r2 cube divided by 3. Clear? And if you want to convert that in terms of load, then we have to convert that pressure in terms of load, which will be reflected as 2 pi mu w upon pi into r1 square minus r2 square multiplied with r1 cube minus r2 cube divided by 3. So ultimately we will have that effective equation, or if we can say final equation in terms of load, will be 2 by 3 mu w r1 cube minus r2 cube divided by r1 square minus r2 square. And if we want to compare this equation with classical equation of torque, which is T is equals to W into R, or you can say frictional torque, which is T is equals to mu force into R, where we can put effective radius. We can compare this equation with that and have effective radius as R is equals to 2 by 3 R1 square R1 cube minus R2 cube divided by R1 square minus R2 square. This is nothing but mean radius of our frictional surface. Here, I hope you got this point. This was about design of clutch from the side of uniform pressure theory. Now, let's discuss about uniform wear theory. Uniform wear theory, wear throughout the surface will going to be set as a uniform, or uniform distribution of wear will going to takes place. Here in this case, maximum wear will be takes place at the center and minimum at the end of that particular plate. Here in that case, distance and pressure multiplication will going to be constant throughout the surface. Clear? That is our input criteria. Now let's find out torque according to that. So for that, first of all, load will be pressure into area. So ultimately pressure, which is considered as a P, and area is 2 pi RdR. Integrating from R1 to R2, we will find out it as a W is equals to 2 pi PR, which is considered as a constant. So we can put it as a C. So 2 pi C R1 minus R2, where C is nothing but P into R. Clear? Because in this particular theory, we are considering pressure into its distance from particular point will going to be constant. So C will be W upon 2 pi R1 minus R2. Now let's have that equation for torque. Clear? So for torque, we are going to multiply this equation, or we can have that previous equation of torque directly into this theory. Clear? And then integrate it from R1 to R2. So torque is nothing but 2 pi mu C R dr. Ultimately, it will come out as pi mu C. C is nothing but Rp into R. Clear? R1 square minus R2 square. Now let's put that value of C in this particular equation. So ultimately we will find this equation it as a 1 by 2, 1 by 2 mu W R1 plus R2. And by comparing this equation with classical torque equation, which is mu W R, clear, where we can find effective radius as R1 plus R2 divided by 2. Here we can compare both the radiuses or effective radiuses for the both the cases. For uniform wear theory, it is 2 by 3 R1 cube minus R2 cube upon R1 square minus R2 square. And in the case of uniform wear theory, it is R1 plus R2. Clear? Most effective theory, it will going to be wear theory, and the most applicable theory is wear theory. Even in GTU examination, you will ask to design particular multi-plate or single plate for particular wear theory. I hope you got each and every point in this particular session very well. If you have any doubt regarding to this session, you can directly contact me or message me. Thank you. Thank you for this. We are ending here.